calls. It's Sunday morning, getting a late start. It's 8 o'clock, and we got some Tupac! Oh man, it's a crisscross. Here's our condensing unit. Coil's dirty, check. Just cycled off. Turbo air condensing unit. Actually not too shabby, believe it or not. Okay, so I'm here taking the panel off, and I can smell that heat smell, like when the condenser's overheated. So I'm wondering if this thing might have failed condenser fan motors. You guys know the smell I'm talking about. And maybe this thing cycled off on high head pressure, so. And it's a Sunday. I've used all the motors off my truck between, let's see, Thursday and Saturday. I got a bunch coming in. Oh yeah, definitely failed condenser fan motor somewhere. Trying to get that one jump started. Nope, they're both gone. So they just cycled back on from its high head pressure. So I got 2 dead condenser fan motors. So turn the disco off and see. I got to hustle up some motors here. All right, both condenser fan motors failed. The turbo air condenser units are pretty good. You're gonna need metric wrenches to work on them. All the bolts were metric. I just used my crescent wrench, the universal metric. All the bolts in the frame had like never sees on them. They all came out super easy, which was impressive. And the you can see the shaft here on the motor is all coated. So I only had to use my little plastic brush to get the little bit of rust that was on there off, and the blades came right off. I'll probably just replace these with the old universal motors, you know, like we use on the Heatcraft condensers. Yeah, the amp draw looks like it'll work just fine. I'm gonna go hustle up to, I've used all my motors, so I gotta go. I'm gonna call the parts house for the Saturday, or pardon me, Sunday opening. Today's Sunday. And we'll go hustle up some motors. All right, so these are the motors we're gonna use to replace. Is the H.V.A.C 9721. It's universal, all the voltages, you can change the rotation. That's what we're gonna put in here. Amp draw is pretty much the same as the motor we pulled out. So that's what we're gonna put in. Okay, so I got the freezer upstairs working. He wanted me to check out his air conditioning. This one's out of gas, this one's out of gas. And this one's out of gas with a dead compressor. So I'm gonna have him get a hold of a mechanical contractor. Those are both heat pumps. And the air handlers are up in the T-bar. And these are all R22ers. So he needs to get new equipment, it's time. And I'll get him in touch with the right people. We'll see what happens there. Now I gotta go do the ice maker. He's got no ice in there too, so it's like the job that never ends. Safe mode. Long harvest. Okay. I'm gonna have to scrub that plate probably. on the ice thickness probe on the Indigo. So hit the menu button, scroll down to service. Oh, I went too fast. Let me show you guys that again. Scroll down to service, click service, real-time data, the check mark, time and temp check. Scroll down till you get to the hertz. 100 hertz, 120 hertz. See, it's normal for that to be in the 200 range. Tap your nipple on here, and this should go up to the thousands. And there's a delay. When you tap it, that should go into the thousands like it did. So that's a pass right there. Numbers, do not or increase to the thousands, ohm out your probe. If you want to ohm out your probe, you do it both ways. You take the wire off, red to red, black to black into K ohms, and then you want to flip them. And you're going to get two different readings. When it's set up normal, you're going to get 1.4 to 2.5. We could do that real quick. Let me set this up in there. Let's see. So I got it hooked up red to red, black to black. And I got 2.3. So now I want to flip them the other way around, opposites. 1.2 flipped. Which 1.2 to 1.5 is a pass. And the last thing you check when the unit's running is from this top pin to the bottom pin, DC volts. And you're going to look for a 3.2 to 3.3 DC volts while it's running. And then that's your check for your board and your ice thickness probe on the Indigo. So mine's passing. I'm going to turn the machine back on. I got the ice thickness probe disconnected, and the board's going to go through its fill cycle, its pre-chill and start, and then it's going to go right into harvest by itself. So that circuit board's got a hiccup. I have to get a board for this machine. So it's on its dump out right now. Okay, now it's in its harvest. Air pump's running, compressor's running, hot gas valve is energized. Now it's switched to pre-chill. We're going to fill with water. It's going to come on for the water. Okay, now it's supposed to switch into freeze mode. Bring on our water pump. And it goes right in the defrost. Man. And there's the harvest light. So I got a bad circuit board. So I flip the curtain to trick it. I think it's going to run on safety mode. Okay, that ice maker on the Q or S models, if you had what I just showed you, it would be a bad circuit board. I ran this, there's a self-diagnostics on the board and it passed. Before I order that board, I'm going to call tech support in the morning. It's Sunday evening. And it looks like that board has a hiccup in it to me. I just want to double check before I order up an expensive part. I'm going to show you guys the Monterey Sunshine. All sunny and nice. That's the fog. It's always foggy in summertime here. When it's hot inland, so it must be cooking inland. So I'll give you guys a follow-up when I find out tomorrow. If, I'm going to talk to Manitowoc just to make sure when I order that circuit board. All right, they confirm the board is good. I'm not getting the ground from the water level sensor. And they've had a lot of issues with the cable going to the water level sensor that plugs into the board right here. So I've ohmed out this end to this end. This wire is good. The one I'm missing is on the water level sensor.
Oh, is this in the way right here?
No, you're good. So I got a bad water level sensor, and that's the issue I'm having. I think I do have one on my truck that we can check out too. It really is as simple as just toning out the wires. Okay, so I went ahead and changed out the water level sensor and the cable because I had them on the truck, and now the machine's working normally. So on the old Q and S models, if it would go in the defrost with the ice thickness probe off the board, we'd always think the board was bad. But I vaguely remembered something about these. That's why I called tech support this morning and saved myself from buying a board. And it was actually the ground from the water level sensor not getting back. Will also cause that on these Indigos. So I hope that helps out. That's what tech support's there for. Give them a call, use them. When in doubt, check yourself. It worked for me. Like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.